So Joe, we talk about the risks around taxes. The other huge risk that could derail any financial situation is around healthcare. But before we go down to like the full like long-term care aspect in that risk, the other risk you have, Matt and Joe, is around like when you're on 65, you have Medicare A, Medicare B, and your Medicare Part B premium, right, is based on your income. So if it's under a certain threshold, it's one number, but the more you make, the more you pay. So then now you have your income plan and your healthcare plan very tied together, because what you do from an income standpoint, what you do from a Roth conversion standpoint, if you're doing tax planning, now I'm getting really crazy here, can affect what you pay for Medicare Part B. So it's like, you see some clients sometimes they're like, wait, just because I did that or sold this home or capital gains or whatever, or I made this income, now I'm paying $300 more per month for Medicare, and so is my wife or my husband. You're like, what the heck is going on here, right?
Yeah, I see that pitfall all the time. That's something that I think a lot of individuals, they see these flashy concepts. Hey, a Roth conversion. Hey, tax planning. Hey, XYZ strategy. They go out and implement that without the education behind that. And then they hit this pitfall. I think you hit a perfect one, being the Medicare premiums. I've seen too many people, they came in, they already converted a certain amount of money. Mm-hmm. They thought they did it with an understanding of the tax liability, not understanding that, as you mentioned, Derek, now they have to pay $4,000 more a year in medical premiums per person.
Yeah. Well, and some people still, in fairness, I have some clients that still they still pay a little bit more, because the reason being is if they get to 72 and they have all this IRA money, they're probably going to be in that higher Medicare premium the rest of their life. Where if we do some tax planning for the next few years, maybe it will bring them into a lower threshold down the road, because at 72, if all your money is IRAs, 401ks, the government says you have to take out this much. Guess what? It's fully taxable. Mm-hmm. That's going to drive you potentially into a much higher tax bracket, higher Medicare. So sometimes it might make sense to take one step back to take 3 steps forward.
Well, and I think too, sorry to interrupt, Joe, I mean, a lot of people don't know about that Medicare, or they only discover it when they get there, right? Yeah. And I always joke around, so my juvenile joke is like, oh, you don't know IRMA? It's like, who's IRMA? Like, oh, IRMA, and it's like income respecting, I'm not even sure what the IRMA stands for, but that is the Medicare Part B penalty. Yeah. And so again, just stupid IRMA joke, but I'm like, oh, IRMA, oh, how do you not know IRMA?
Matt's good with the IRMA joke.
Yeah, right, laying it on thick. But it's just the idea that they're not aware of that, and it plays a big role. I mean, as you said, Joe, it's like, you know, they could be paying like almost like $1,000 per month combined, depending on, you know, if they're in that really, really high tax bracket, or no, I should say income bracket. That's the other frustrating thing, and kind of, you know, Derek, to add the convoluted train, it's like, all right, so you have the tax brackets, which are these, you know, income levels, right? And then you have the IRMA income levels, which are different from the tax brackets. So when you do these types of, as you were saying, Joe, like the Roth conversions and whatnot, you know, what applies for one level is different for the other level. So you have to watch both of these things when you're actually implementing it.
Yeah, you nailed it. It's with the Medicare, it's on a gross number. There's no deductions and all these other things, so people can do it improperly. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. It just means that you need to do it from an educated standpoint and understand the repercussions.
And you need to when you're working with a financial advisor and a team, you want to make sure that they have experience, because, like I said, let's say some woman or man that runs a solo operation that says, someone comes to them saying, hey, I heard on the radio we should do Roth conversions, and they're like, a lot of advisors don't even go down this road, and that's what we try to make ourselves different. But let's say you go to that advisor and he or she's like, yeah, well, that sounds like a good plan. Let's do Roth conversions, and what does that even mean, right? So it's not just doing Roth conversions. There's a whole strategy around what levels do we go to and why. Do we, you know, if you're below 65, we have a lot more wiggle room that we can convert more, maybe pay more taxes, but not have to worry about the Medicare Part B premiums because you're not on Medicare. Mm-hmm. So maybe there's there's so much that goes involved. And the whole idea is what we're talking about today is the unexpected risks to your retirement and legacy. One of the main risks is taxes.